Shingeki no Bahamut, not to be confused with this show, is an anime based on a card game of all things, and it's one of the most entertaining shows I remember from my childhood. Today, I'm here to prove to no one that I have elite anime ball knowledge. I'm going to go back through my list of anime that I watched as a kid or a teenager to see how I rated shows back then and compare them to my thoughts now as a big brain adult. This show is based on a card game with the same name from the game developer Side Games. You've probably heard of them. They made Grand Blue Fantasy, Shadowverse, and most importantly, I'm not joking, Uma Musume Pretty Derby. I think this took the Twitch world by storm for a while, but yeah, it's crazy because I didn't even know this anime was funded by a game company. For great reasons, Side Games went to Mappa and they said, yo, can you make some shit out of this? And make some shit out of this, they did. The good kind. So my notes say, anime looks like they whipped their animators. Have no clue what is happening in story. Starts off fun, but ending is garbaggio. Nice, 6. Okay. Let's watch the first episode and see if my opinions hold up. Okay, so because I said I have no clue what's happening in the story, maybe I just need some background information. So Gemini helpfully says that the card game is about a fantasy world called Mistarcia, and there is some OPA dragon, Bahamut, that started wiping shit out in the fantasy land. Somehow this doomsday dragon gets the 3 races in the game of humans, gods, and demons to stop their bickering and say, yo, time out. Let's solve the bigger issue in the room. So they do, and they barely manage to seal the OPA dragon, I guess. In the game, you're a knight exploring this unstable world. It's some goofy goober cult. Oh my, it's always a cult. Trying to cop some keys to break the seal and have Bahamut wipe out the world. Yeah, because that makes sense, whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much all we need to know about the story because the game doesn't really have a story, it looks like. It apparently has snippets of a story laid out through the main gameplay loop with a bunch of text, but I'm not getting paid to watch any content to explain this, so yeah, whatever. That's the card game. Okay, I'll give the anime some props because apparently there was no story script or plot given to Mappa. They were given a huge library of unconnected card art, generic text descriptions, and a big booby bad boy Bahamut, but they weren't given anything else. So the director, Keiichiro Sato, took the nice art and the loose ends of the fantasy world and created a pseudo-Hollywood action anime with rogues and high fantasy mythological gods and knights and zombies for some reason. Oh well. So the show begins with the same premise that we just researched. 2,000 years in the past, there's a war to seal Bahamut. There's demons and angels doing some voodoo magic stuff. And the humans are low-key just gallivanting around doing... What are the humans supposed to do? Why are they even here? Whatever. So we don't really see the aftermath, but we already know what happens. They steal Bahamut. Realizing why I didn't understand what was happening as a kid. I didn't know the backstory. So I was like, why is there a big dragon that they're fighting? Whatever. We then travel to present day and see our 2 male leads. Favreau Leon, a spunky, self-centered, goofy, charismatic copy of Usopp with a red afro and a pretty cool scar. And Kaiser Lidford, a straight-laced knight who is chasing Favreau because of prior grievances. And I'll explain that in a little bit. These characters are almost too stylized. I mean, look at the fits. Okay. They're kind of fire, but they're intentionally super wild. It's based on a card game. It's probably characters from the game. Okay. So during this chase scene, shenanigans occur. They're on horses and they're jumping out around buildings and they're going through a conveniently sloped town on a dry water mill for some reason. And conveniently, they interrupt these goons who are trying to abuse these women. Whatever. So they end up in a bar, but Favreau sends off Kaiser's horse, which causes Kaiser to shift his focus, and the story beat shifts from there. Meanwhile, the goons that we saw earlier are walking outside of the city, and a naked girl falls out of the sky onto their wagon. Oh my god. And yada yada, they try to abuse her. Demonize. Ooh. She clearly murks the goons. Alright. Soon we found out that Favreau and Kaiser are bounty hunters and they have to capture villains. So we cut to another just random scene where more goons are chopping it up in a cathedral, I would assume. And Favreau shows up. He's like, yo, what's good? I'm about to take you, my boy. But the big goon's like, yo, go merc, bro. He starts doing some funny ass chants to summon some monsters, but Favreau uses plot convenience to cook the monsters and merc Big Bro with a random ass pitchfork. Yo, what's happening? Okay. He then traps Bro in some pretty cool looking sewn card art, and I assume this is a nod back to the card game, and he goes to visit a carriage. Inside the carriage is Bacchus, who for some reason is a drunk black guy who's fitted out with hella bling and a talking duck. Oh my god. I don't know. We'll run with it. Bacchus hands over half of the reward Favreau expected, but doesn't explain why. Okay? Whatever. So Favreau's, he's chopping it up in the inn. He's like, yeah. While he's inebriated, he boasts that he's on his way to Helheim for his next quest. He's overheard by the previously naked lady. She's not naked anymore. She's wearing the fits of them goobers that she murked, about the fact that he wants to go to Helheim. So Kaiser pulls up. Lady's like, yo, your boy's in the inn chopping it up. And Kaiser reveals that Favreau is the reason that he has to be a bounty hunter. He caused his family to lose their fortune and his prized horse, which is his last possession from his family. Oh my god, this man is a... Ugh. So Favreau, he dips. He's like, yo, ladies, take a look at a sweet shit. And Demon Chick goes after him. She asks him if he can lead her to Helheim. She introduces herself as Amira before he tries to sexually assault her, talking about some, yo, if you give me some love, I'll take you to Helheim. She doesn't move, I guess, but just before he kisses her, Ghost, another bounty, comes after Favreau. And apparently, Favreau copped his little bro. That's why he only got half the reward. So Favreau's like, all right, Lil Jit, I'm about to take you too. But Lil Jit starts to summon something, you feel me, to get his get back. The summon starts and it doesn't actually complete. So Favreau starts joshing. He's talking about some, what is that whack ass? I mean, your little brother could have done better. Until, someone fully pulls up. So more shenanigans happen and Favreau ain't looking too hot. So Amira reveals that she's a demon with one wing. Yo, and a strong one at that. Tight. So she's mogging all over the monster, and after she murks the monster, Favreau gets hit by more plot convenience before passing out. Oh yeah, by the way, Ghost gets murked. So after passing out, he gets the kiss that he requested from Amira. She clearly assumes that he's going to make good on his promise, but we don't know yet. Oh yeah, Favreau, while he's unconscious, goes through this dream sequence where he sees the big bad booty Latina dragon, and yeah. So Favreau wakes up in the end. He's like, yo, where am I at? Where's the demon girl? And lady's like, I don't know, you were just on the side of the road. And he's like, all right, bet. So he tries to get freaky with the inn lady, because he's about that time. He didn't get his get back. But she starts freaking out. She's like, huh? Demon. And Favreau's like, what demon? Yo, let me get the... Until he looks in the mirror and he sees that he has a demon tail now. The episode ends with homegirl aura farming at the top of the inn. Fire. All right, so we have the premise for the series. A female with demon powers is trying to get to Helheim. She cursed red hair to have him help her achieve her goals. I don't want to go into the plot beyond that, because if this sounds at all interesting to you, you should definitely watch it. The characters are lively and incredibly stylized. The art, especially for its time, makes me agree with my notes that they were abusing, or at least whipping, the workers and the production staff. The premise, the characters, the story, I mean, sheesh. I wonder why more people haven't talked about this series. Oh yeah, the writing's buns. I mean, I'm going to give my cynical youth version of myself this. The story was almost too random, even for the first episode. The plot begins with simple humans, demons, gods, fantasy world premise with a random dragon, but they don't actually explain what's happening. And it's clear that they're fighting him, and you can just assume that something's gonna want to resurrect it. But even in just the first episode, the shenanigans are almost too shenanigandery. The two male leads are going on a Looney Tunes chase with a watermill, and horses jumping hundreds of feet, and villains summoning random tails and buckets falling out of the place and people just popping up out of nowhere, and we're teleporting around the place. It's amazing. I remember that the plot starts off super hot, but it definitely falls off by the ending, since obviously they're going to have to save the world from the big bad booty Bonquisha Bahamut in just 12 episodes. But one thing I failed to understand as a kid is they set up the expectations you should have for the show going into the first episode. It's random for a reason. I went in with the wrong perspective. The show is obviously a spectacle. It's a collision of a billion genres with random physical gags and a tan protagonist with a red afro and a tail. Like, you're not meant to take the show seriously. You're meant to just enjoy the time. The show is card game cameo the show. And I assume if you played the card game, or if you searched up the card game, you would see a lot of characters that you'd see in the card game in the show. The show is supposed to make you ask stuff outside of the anime. So it's random, it's overly dramatic, it's funny, and it's stylish as all at the same time. They have a black Dionysus with a duck, a talking duck. Jean of Arc is in the show, Fruity Lucifer, and the opening is an all-time banger from Sim. If you don't know who Sim is, they made the last opening for the other Shingeki no show. You feel me? Yes, I know that Yes, I know that I'm the only one. They can say myself. I'll never forget China. Yep, this shit is low-key peak. So I'll agree with my younger self. Aside from a modern-day Marvel-level narrative, the art, the direction of the show, it's a super fun watch. By yourself or with the homies or with random people on the internet. In terms of an anime that's meant to have a real narrative with deep character arcs, and is supposed to move your hips in a somber fashion, I'll keep my mouse score of a 6. Just because the art's so good. But as a work of art, just as pure random fun, just meant to be a cameo for a card game, this show at least deserves an 8.5. But that's just from initial viewing. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not gonna watch the rest of this. All right. Mappa for real just be working their animators like slaves, huh? Ciao.